Live from Anaheim, California, former light heavyweight champion Victor Galindez of Argentina, with 30 knockouts among his 51 victories, moving up in class to the new cruiserweight division. His opponent, Californian Jesse Burnett, ranked 10th in that division by the WBC. Burnett, a last-minute replacement, now sees his chance for a title shot, but he must defeat Galindez in their scheduled 12-rounder today. And from Volgograd in the Soviet Union, some of the best in the world perform in a sport that is quickly catching on in this country, modern rhythmic gymnastics, coming right up today on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
The CBS Sports Spectacular. Today's show is sponsored by your Porsche Audi dealers. Michelob Light. After all, it's simply a matter of good taste. And by STP. STP gas treatment and STP oil treatment.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. Welcome once again to the CBS Sports Spectacular. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, getting ready for tomorrow's 14th annual Victor Sports Awards, which you will see on the CBS Sports Spectacular beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. But today, we have a fight we think you will enjoy. Originally, it was scheduled to be the Cruiserweight Championship bout between the champion Marvin Camel and the challenger, former light heavyweight champion Victor Galindez. But Camel suffered an eye injury. He has been scratched, and in his place, you will see Galindez fight Jesse Burnett, a veteran 34-year-old Californian who is also trying to avenge a defeat at the hands of Galindez in the past. So we will have for you a scheduled 12-round elimination bout. And the winner of the fight between Burnett, who is ranked 10th by the WBC as a cruiserweight, and Galindez, who is ranked number 6, will go on and meet Marvin Camel when he is healthy enough to fight. So it should be a good battle in Anaheim, California. And of course, we have the modern rhythmic gymnastics. And we first showed it to you in Detroit in the U.S. Championships recently, and the response has been terrific by you viewers. So today, we're going to show you some of the best in the world competing in the Rhythmic Gymnastics Invitational, which took place in Volgograd in the Soviet Union. So we have a big show for you this afternoon. Right now, however, to set up our fight, let's go live to Anaheim, California. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy.
Well, thank you, Dick Stockton. We're here at the Disneyland Hotel Exhibition Hall in Anaheim for this elimination bout between Jesse Burnett and Victor Galindez. Galindez making a comeback try. Jesse Burnett, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And Gil Clancy, let's talk a little bit about this new cruiserweight division set up by the WBC. CBS televised the first title bout. It was Marvin Camel in a draw against Mate Parlov. He went on to beat Parlov in a subsequent fight to win the title. What are your thoughts about this new division?
Well, I think it's a very good idea, Tim. Before this division came into being, anybody over 175 pounds was considered a heavyweight. Now you take a kid whose normal weight's about 180, 182, any aspirations he had to fight for the title, he'd wind up fighting a guy like a Muhammad Ali or a Larry Holmes who weighs 220 pounds. That was kind of tough. Now he can fight for a championship of the world and fight a guy similar to himself in weight.
Well, Victor Galindez has certainly had his problems in the last couple of years meeting the 175 light heavyweight limit. Indeed, he had trouble making the 190 limit for this fight. He did get down to a half pound over for the weigh-in this morning. For Galindez, at age 31, there was talk of retirement after he lost to Marvin Johnson. The second time he had lost the light heavy crown. He had previously lost it to Mike Rossman, but won it back. Many thought after the Johnson defeat, a devastating knockout, it would be all over for him. But this new weight division has given him an opportunity to continue. For Jesse Burnett, a man who's been in there against a lot of tough guys. He's lost 6 of his last 9 fights, but he's been in there against people like Jerry Martin, Lottie Mwala, and many people thought he won those fights. They were very close, and in some cases split decisions against him. So he was talking retirement. At the age of 34, decided to hang in there. Now, a victory here today would launch him into a title shot. Let's take a look at Jesse Burnett, a counter-puncher. He's in the blue trunks against the now light heavyweight champion, Eddie Gregory.
Well, you notice he jabs from the hip. He keeps that left hand low, Tim, and he blocks all of his punches with the right hand. In this exchange, he's doing very well. He's a good fighter. He knows how to mix them up, punch to the body and the head.
Well, you've raised an interesting point about his style. Maybe you can demonstrate a little bit more graphically what you mean. Just don't hit me, Gil. Let me put this microphone down.
I'd love to. Tim, when you throw a punch, either a left hand or a right hand, he uses his right hand strictly for blocking, no matter which, or this way here. Now, I don't like that, because boxing is a matter of split-second timing and delivering a punch. When he blocks that right hand over here, before he can punch with the right hand, he has to bring it back into punching position. I like to use both hands to block. That way, throw a quick right hand, Tim. You block it here, and you can punch with either hand. But he's successful with the style. Archie Moore was, Ken Norton was. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, what will Victor Galindez do then to try and take advantage of that style?
Well, it's very vulnerable to a left hook. Ken Norton used that style. That's why he gave Ali all the trouble in the world. Ali just would not throw left hooks underneath. It's vulnerable to a left hook.
All right. Well, as we have a look at Victor Galindez, you'll see his style. While he is a counter-puncher, Gil, he's the kind of guy that'll take a lot of punches waiting to get his in. And we'll see him in action in that last fight last November, the losing cause against Marvin Johnson. Galindez on the right.
He's a very, very strong guy. He doesn't mind you hitting him, because then you're within punching range and he can hit you back. He loves to fight off the ropes. He traps you that way. You think you have him, but it's the other way around. He's strong.
Victor Galindez and his comeback try here now in the cruiserweight division. And for Jesse Burnett, a man who once again has been called out from the wings. He was training for another fight scheduled for next week when he got this opportunity, replacing the injured Marvin Camel. We talked to him about his preparation for the fight.
Yes, I've been training for another fight. You know, I'm supposed to fight him next week, but I'm in pretty good condition. I've been training now for about 3 weeks, and it's not as hard as this fight is going to be, but I'm ready for him. I'm in condition, and I'm going to beat him.
Jesse, this is a great opportunity for you. All of a sudden, out of the blue, a victory here against Galindez could send you into a title match against Marvin Camel.
This is a good opportunity for me, because I've been waiting to get Galindez a long time, you know. Me and Galindez, we fought once before in Denmark, and he beat me on a split decision, but the hometown crowd went the other way. They cheered me for, I don't know, for about a half an hour or so. It took about 2 hours for me to get out the ring. I signed autographs, stayed up all night talking to the people and everything.
Well, Jesse Burnett with a rematch opportunity against Victor Galindez. I asked Victor if he contemplated retirement after his loss to Marvin Johnson, and what about the new cruiserweight division?
Bueno, tenía pensado, pero después como me dio la oportunidad to fight for the cruiserweight, in which he feels very comfortable, and he is planning to win the title, and after that he's trying to get out against the light heavyweight title.
Well, there is Victor Galindez, and he will shortly be in the ring against Jesse Burnett in this 12-round cruiserweight elimination bout. We'll return to Anaheim in just a moment.
Hal Holbrook narrates the incredible flight of the Gossamer Albatross tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports.
We're back here at Anaheim, and just a reminder that this was to be a championship fight with the champion Marvin Campbell defending against Victor Galindez, but Campbell, suffering an eye injury, actually was out of the ring during the time he was preparing for the fight. He got a piece of solder in his eye, scratched the cornea, and that's why he was unable to go ahead with his fight. So it'll be Victor Galindez against Jesse Burnett in a 12-round elimination fight, with the winner to meet Marvin Campbell for the championship. And we'll be coming back for the boxing action here shortly. Right now, let's go to Dick Stockton. Thank you, Dick. We're back here at the Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California, and joining us on our commentary this afternoon, a very special guest, the WBA heavyweight champion, Mike Weaver. Mike, good to have you along.
Thanks a lot.
Mike, a Californian, and here to watch this cruiserweight elimination fight, and we'll be getting some of his comments, along with, of course, Gil Clancy as we go along. Victor Galindez against Jesse Burnett. Victor Galindez weighed in at 190, Burnett at 181 3/4. Galindez with a record of 51, 7 and 4 draws. Burnett 20 wins, 11 losses, 2 draws. According to Ring Magazine, 30 knockouts in the career of Victor Galindez, 9 by Jesse Burnett. And Burnett coming off quite a year in 1979 in terms of opposition. John Conte, Jerry Martin, young Joe Louis, Butch Geiger, a lesser light, Lottie Mwala, and his last win was against Dale Grant from Billings, Montana. Victor Galindez in the white trunks and Burnett in the light blue. And we should point out something you may have seen in the interview with Burnett. He has a quite swollen right ear, and that occurred during training for this fight. It's been lanced a couple of times to drain some blood out of it. It's still quite puffy, but he did pass the commission physical here in the state of California this morning, and apparently it's not serious enough to consider postponing the fight, but we'll be watching to see if it's a factor as the action goes along.
Mike, have you fought anybody that uses that up jab the way Jesse Burnett, you know, he jabs off his knee? Have you fought anybody that fights with that style?
No, I haven't, but I worked with Jesse Burnett on numerous amount of time. And he's a jab good, and he's a very smart fighter.
Well, I used to work with that jab with the Griffith. He'd use it sometimes, like we'd change from round to round. And it's a very hard jab for the opponent to see because it comes up from the knee, and it can be very, very effective.
You're right.
Victor Galindez in the white trunks with red trim, now circling to the left of your screen. Just turned 32, Argentinian born, now lives in Miami under new management. Juan Carlos Dominguez, an Argentinian, and Michael Dundee.
Oh, let him go.
Trained by Chuck Talhami. Jesse Burnett managed and trained by Jesse Reed. Galindez moving to Miami a couple of months ago, trying to rebound from that loss to Marvin Johnson of his light heavyweight round. Sparred about 75 rounds for this fight. Less than a minute to go in round 1.
We mentioned earlier that the way to attack Jesse Burnett's style is with the left hook, and that's exactly what Galindez is trying to do.
Jesse Burnett with a combination, gets a grin from Galindez. An early show of macho from him, and Burnett really wants this one badly.
Jesse looks pretty sharp to me. How's he look to you, Mike?
He looked very sharp to me. You know, Jesse knows this fight means a lot to him. He's got to do his best.
Good hook to the body by Galindez. Less than 30 seconds to go in round 1. 12-round elimination bout sanctioned by the World Boxing Council in this new cruiserweight division. Right hand by Burnett and a counter to the body by Galindez. Final seconds of round number 1. Round number 2. Jesse Burnett and Victor Galindez, and there's the bell for it. The referee is John Thomas, and the judges today are Dick Young and Vince Delgado, judging by the referee and 2 judges on the 10-point must scoring system. 10 points to the winner of a round, 9 or less to the loser of a round.
But between rounds, the trainer of Jesse Burnett, Jesse Reed, said, "Stiffen up that jab. Don't jab at him. Jab through him." Let's see if Burnett follows those instructions. And Galindez did not sit down between rounds.
Well, watching Galindez train this past week, he looked to be in pretty good shape, but I know that he would like to have had a little more time to prepare for this fight. Of course, he was training for the Camel fight, but even his trainer felt that another couple of weeks would have helped Galindez, as they're also working on trying to get him to slip punches more. And Chuck Talhami says no reason for him to take as many punches as he does in order to get counter punches of his own.
Well, that's what Galindez likes to do. He likes to fight with his back on the ropes. He makes you punch so he can punch back at you. He can counter. He doesn't like to chase you. Despite the fact that he's a short, stocky guy, you think that would be his style, but it's not. He likes to counter punch. He'll go against those ropes, let you punch at him, and then he likes to try to really nail you.
Let's go.
Let's see if Jesse falls into that trap.
Gil Clancy, along with WBA heavyweight champion Mike Weaver, here at ringside. Good right hand from Burnett lands. right hand. Galindez just pulled away from that. By the way, tomorrow we've got karate action, professional karate on the Sports Spectacular, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Undefeated Bill Superfoot Wallace and his farewell match. Should be some great action tomorrow on the Sports Spectacular.
That's it. Move that head. Speaking of farewell matches, the loser of this fight today, it could be their farewell match, Tim. I feel if Galindez loses, I don't think there would be any point in going any further. And you mentioned that Jesse had talked about retirement.
Jesse has talked about retirement. I started to say in the first round that his wife has kind of kept him going as he pops those jabs into the face of Galindez. She said, give us one more year, Jesse, and not knowing that this development could happen out of the blue, a chance here against Galindez that could vault him into a title shot. If he wins it, he'll take on Marvin Campbell for the cruiserweight title.
How's it look to you so far, Mike?
It's a very good fight. He's definitely good punches. Galindez landing good hits to the body and Jesse landing good right hands and good jabs. Good fight.
Burnett getting the support of the hometown crowd here, something he's wanted. Final seconds of round number 2.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Robert Biggs challenges Bill Superfoot Wallace for the PKA World Middleweight Championship. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Inside, the looping right hand.
We're looking into Jesse Burnett's corner. His handler Jesse Reed talking to him, and now let's see some action from round number 2.
Good left hook by Burnett.
Mike Weaver, Jesse Burnett gives you a lot of his back to hit at. He comes at you kind of sideways, and that part of his defense make himself a more difficult target?
Right, Jesse Burnett is a very difficult target to hit with a good solid punch. You know, for me, knowing from working many times in the gym, he's a very smart fighter.
34 years of age, from Inglewood, California, currently ranked number 10 among the cruiserweights. Galindez is ranked number 6. The champion is Marvin Campbell. He was to be here today defending his title against Galindez, but an outside of the ring injury to his eye, a scratch cornea, has postponed that. And the winner here now will meet Campbell for the title. Round number 3, scheduled for 12. Gil, Galindez looks heavy to me. We know that he had trouble making the 190-pound limit, and that's got to be a cause for concern on his part.
Well, he has a couple of things going against him. Number 1, he has that spare tire around the middle. And number 2, he hasn't been that active. Jesse Burnett's been an active fighter, and that could really work in his favor as this fight continues. I'd say a good weight for Galindez would be about 182, 183. Then he'd be in super condition. A little heavy right now.
Come on, get on. Don't wait, get off first.
Good right hand by Galindez. He caught Burnett as he was ducking down, and he hurt him.
As you pointed out, Jesse Burnett sure is slick. He got hit with that one big punch, and he slipped 4 or 5 other bombs at Galindez.
I thought he got hit with that right hand, but he didn't get hit no more after that shot. Very slick fighter.
Be first, yes. No way.
In Galindez's corner, they're yelling at him to be first, get off first, but he's waiting. He wants to counter punch.
These two fighters met in 1976. A disputed decision went to Galindez in Denmark. The crowd there was in support of Burnett. They thought he won that fight. One of several very controversial decisions that have gone against Jesse Burnett over the years. Less than a minute to go. Round 3. That was a non-title fight. Although Galindez was the light heavyweight champion at the time, Burnett's been waiting for another opportunity against this man. He's got it here, plus the victory that could send him into a title shot. 15 seconds to go. It's the 3rd round.
Burnett is falling into Galindez's strap. Galindez goes against the ropes, but Burnett just doesn't wind up and start punching. He's being very, very cautious. Maybe that's the smart thing for him to do. Galindez goes against those ropes and asks him to punch.